to decide who will begin the first period. On the left, there's the Singapore team, and on the right, the Chinese Taipei women's team. Teams will shout their cheers before starting the match. We wish the both of them the very best. Because Chinese Taipei has always been the leading team, many teams around the world has been always trying to catch up. They are the team to beat. Singapore starts the ball. Passes to the right wing. Left wing. Shoots. Oh, Singapore has scored the first point. Kai Liang, who do you think will come out on top in this match?
It's a very tough question, but Chinese Taipei has always been the champions. And Singapore has always been training hard, so very tough question. But I hope both teams the best, and good luck.
Current score is 2-0. Chinese Taipei with a passing mistake. Singapore will hope to capitalize. Right wing takes the ball, passes to the left wing, number 23. Right wing, number 18, shoots. Chinese Taipei with fantastic defense. Chinese Taipei will be looked to score on the other side. Number 1 catches the ball. Passes across to the other side. Great defense and attack by both teams. Chinese Taipei with a landing fault. There is a forbidden zone in front of the frame where you cannot step in the attack. Number 1 for Singapore takes the ball. Passes. Shoots. Great defense by Chinese Taipei, number 1. Both teams are showing their very best for this finals match. Great defense by Singapore. Number 23 shoots. China is equal to them. Taipei equal to them, sorry. The second line of Singapore catches the ball. Passes across the attack. Travelling call from the referee where a player has taken more than 3 steps. Taipei attacking. Number 13 attacks and scores. Number 22 shoots a second line ball, penetrating the defense of Chinese Taipei. And scores. Aliang, what do you think will be the key factor for either teams to win this match? Is it speed, strength, or is it technique?
I think at this point it's just about who catches the most ball and do lesser mistakes, keep the basics going, and that's pretty much it. At the grander stage of the mall, As you can hear, the tensions are rising, and great catch by number 91. And as I was saying, who can keep their cool? Which team can keep their cool the most? And that's, in my opinion, is going to be a big factor. For one takes and shoots. What a great second line ball.
That's great. I think both teams will be looking to minimize their mistakes. As you can see, the referees are really being very strict on their calls. Chinese Taipei with another great defense, hoping to capitalize. Shoots and catch. Singapore are currently being equal to them in terms of both attack and defense. Number 18 shoots and scores. The ball bounces off the players. We're 5 minutes into the finals and the arena is hyping up. Great defense by Singapore. One shoots. The ball is also caught by the Chinese Taipei team. Great coverage by the Singaporean players, hoping to capitalize on this once again. Oh, by the Chinese Taipei as well. They're covering very well, diving for every ball, giving their best out there. As I said just now, the sport revolves around the number 3. There was more than 3 passes in the attack. Great simple passing by Singapore, scores through the Taiwan defense. The current score is 5-3, Singapore leading. Oh, number 13 with a sharp shot goes through the Singapore defense. Number 23 shoots and scores. Match is very tight. Either teams are not being able to pull the scores away from one another. Number 1, who is a left-hander, managed to score through the Singaporean defense. Taiwan defense is moving very well and adapting to Singaporean shots. Number 17 uses a little bit of technique to spin the ball and sneak through the Singaporean defense. Singapore will be looking to capitalize on this attack. Number 18 takes the ball and shoots. Number 13 takes the ball, shoots. Great coverage by the Singaporean players to keep the ball alive. 23 strikes. Oh, what a great shot by number 23. Taiwan players unable to cope with the strength of the player, making the ball bounce right off them. Number 1 scores again. Number 18 shoots. Oh, it's a landing call, which means that the player has landed inside the forbidden zone before the ball was released from her hand. The scores are very tight now with both teams at 7 apiece. Taiwan with another mistake. They may be slightly nervous as this is for the gold medal. Both teams are still in the midst of trying to shake off their nerves and perform the best that they can be. Number 23 jumps and shoots. What a great shot by number 23, using once again a spin shot to shoot through the Chinese Taipei defenders. Oh, a lost point from number 13 of Chinese Taipei. This happens when the ball lands within the forbidden zone and outside of the court after a shot. Current score is 9-7. Singapore leading. Great defense by Singapore. 23 shoots another ball. We have seen this time and time again as Chinese Taipei players are unable to contain number 23's ball. They will hope to adapt to her shot the next time. Whereas Singapore will be trying their best to capitalize on this. Number 7, you can see the frustration on Chinese Taipei face as they are within reach of Singapore's shots. The 13 takes the ball, passes to number 1. Great shot by number 1 to the defense between the left wing and the FP of Singapore. From what we've observed, number 23 is the main player of the Singapore team, have been scoring most of the shots given to her. And from the Chinese Taipei team, I think number 1 has been performing relatively well and scoring a large number of shots. Number 23 once again scoring a ball for Team Singapore. The ball ricocheting out of Chinese Taipei's hand. Oh, there's a frame shot from Chinese Taipei. This happens when the ball hits the frame and lands outside of the Providence. Oh, there's a one-step pairing from the Chinese Taipei team where they try to use their speed to their advantage. Oh, great catch by the Chinese Taipei team, able to stop Singapore's number 23. Number 1 shoots the ball and scores. We're 2 minutes and 30 seconds away from the end of the first period. And you can feel the tension rising around the arena. Passes number 1 of Chinese Taipei. Once again scores. As you can see, both Chinese Taipei and Singapore have key players that they're trying to feed the ball to score as many points as they can. Singapore able to neutralize the shot of number 18. Sorry, Chinese Taipei. shot from Chinese Taipei, once again penetrating the defense of Singapore. Frame shot from number 23. Current scores are 14-11 with Singapore leading, and we have 1 minute to go. Number 7 with a great second line shot, able to make use of a strength to advantage. Number 23 once again uses her strength to her advantage, and Chinese Taipei unable to catch it. One takes the ball, passes to number 13. Chinese Taipei scores the point, Singapore unable to catch it. Number 23 once again, passes to number 18. Shoots. Oh. There's an accident between the players. The Chinese Taipei players were trying to attack as quickly as possible. However, the Singaporean player was still in front of the frame. Hopefully, both players are fine and there's sportsmanship as the Chinese Taipei player is sorry to the Singaporean players. Game is restarted. The game ends before the point was scored. The score is 15-13 with Singapore leading. So we go the second period between Chinese Taipei and Singapore, the women's final. Current scores are 15-13 with Singapore leading by 2 points. Chinese Taipei will start us off. Number 1, great shot, but a catch by the Singaporean right wing. Great third line defense by Chinese Taipei. Landing call against number 3 of Chinese Taipei. Number 18 from Singapore, scoring through the Chinese Taipei defense from the left side. Number 1, picks and passes. Mistake by number 13 of the Chinese Taipei team. Chinese Taipei caught the ball, hoping to capitalize. Number 1. Landing ball is caught by the main referee against Chinese Taipei number 1. Great coverage by number 4 of Chinese Taipei, catching the ball. Singapore, however, able to catch the ball back. Number 23 will be hoping to capitalize. Number 23 shoots, but Chinese Taipei seemed to have figured her out. Number 13 of Chinese Taipei jumps and shoots. Singapore unable to contain the ball. The score now is 16-14. Great defense by number 23. Singapore able to equal the Singapore unable to score. Taiwan able to equal them. The left wing number 7 shoots and scores. Great coverage once again by the Singapore team. Able to improvise and quickly attack, catching the Chinese Taipei players off guard when they were in the forbidden zone. Frame shot by the Chinese Taipei team. The score now is 18-15. Singapore leading. Singaporeans are trying their best to fake the Taiwanese players. So are the Taiwanese. Great shot by number 13 and number 1. Great chemistry between the two to slot the ball past the Singaporean players. Second line of Taiwan covering. And they are able to convert defense into attack that quickly. putting themselves just 2 points away from the Singapore team. Only 1 point away from the Singapore. The Chinese Taipei team has been able to catch up and minimize the gap between them and the other player. The Chinese Taipei team seems to be able to adapt to the Singaporean shots. Number 18 tries to do a quick attack, but unsuccessful. Number 1 from Chinese Taipei, using a little bit of technique to sneak the ball past the right wing of Singapore. The scores are now level, 18 apiece. Both teams are adapting to each other. Both teams are adapting to each other well, causing rallies to go at a lot, causing more rallies between the matches. Chinese Taipei unable to catch the ball from number 11, the Singaporean substitute that has just come in. Singapore is trying to put in new players so that hopefully the opponents will be unable to adapt to them quickly. Number 11 tries a second line shot, but Chinese Taipei catches the ball. Number 1, once again, attacking the sides and scoring against the Singaporean right wing. Chinese Taipei seems to be adapting well to Singaporean shots. They have taken the lead, and the score is currently 22-19 with Chinese Taipei leading. Great coverage by the Singaporean team, but there was a mistake. Number 11, unable to score. A lost point by number 3 of Chinese Taipei. As mentioned, a lost point happens when the ball lands in the semicircle or outside of the court. Great defense by the Singaporean team, able to nullify the shot of number 13. There's only a 1 point difference between the two teams. Number 1 scores again. As we've said, he seems to be the main player of the Chinese Taipei team. Oh, number 23 is back in the court and has scored a first point. Number 7 tries to attack with a spin shot, but unsuccessful. Number 23 tries to shoot a second line ball, and managed to sneak it past number 8 of Chinese Taipei. There is very little in between the two teams, and they are currently at 23 apiece. Once again, number 23 shoots a second line ball, managing to penetrate through the Chinese Taipei's defense. Landing call against Chinese Taipei, number 1. Once again, a second line shot by number 23 of Singapore. I think Chinese Taipei are trying their best to defend her ball, but has been unsuccessful. Great defense by the Singaporean. Number 23 for a mistake. Chinese Taipei will be looking to take advantage of this point. Great shot by the number 7 of Chinese Taipei. Another mistake by the Singaporean team. Chinese Taipei switches the play. Number 13, the right wing, shoots and scores. There's very little in between the two teams, with the score at 25 apiece. Once again, number 23 from Singapore scores. You can see the frustrations of the Chinese Taipei players as they're unable to nullify the attack. Number 1, shooting a baseline shot. Number 23 once again using the strength to advantage and scoring past the Chinese Taipei defense. I think the game will come down to who is to the wire and who is unable to reduce the number of mistakes. This time number 23 unsuccessful. Great catch by Singapore. The CP covering. Number 23 once again shoots. However, it's a point as the Chinese Taipei player landed in the forbidden zone. Once again, players are not allowed to enter the forbidden zone and they can only jump and shoot before landing. Number 23 unable to score. Taiwan doing their best to nullify number 23. Number 18 as well able to catch Chinese Taipei's number 1 shot. Another great ball from number 23 of Singapore. There's only 30 seconds left. Number 3 tries to execute a baseline shot, but the ball lands, unfortunately, in the forbidden zone. Great defense by number 18 of Singapore. Chinese Taipei as well. The game ends with a 4-point lead by Singapore. Still in the third period. here we go towards the final period of the women's final between Chinese Taipei and Singapore. Singapore is currently 4 points ahead. The scores are 30-26. Last 15 minutes, the women on the court will be looking to give their very best and leave everything out on the court. Chinese Taipei will kick off for our last period. Number 13 scores the first point. Number 23 shoots, but Chinese Taipei able to neutralize the attack. Traveling call against number 1 of Chinese Taipei. Number 23 once again shoots a second line ball that scores. Chinese Taipei shoots. Great save by the Singapore team. Good second line coverage. Traveling call against number 9 of Singapore. A 0-step attack by Chinese Taipei, but Singapore able to adapt. Both teams are neck and neck, trying their best to separate themselves from one another. A surprise shot by number 81 of Singapore, catching the Chinese Taipei by surprise. Great defense by number 9 of Singapore. Good second line coverage from Chinese Taipei, neutralizing number 23 shot. Frame shot by the left wing of Chinese Taipei. A 23 for the score pass. Chinese Taipei, however, after catching the shot, made a mistake of dropping the ball. Number 81 starting to shoot to lighten the burden of number 23, scoring against Chinese Taipei. Great defense by Singapore. Number 1 unable to score. Number 23's ball looks to be getting easier for the Chinese Taipei team, but Singapore not backing down and catching the counter attack. Off shot, as I said, there is a rule surrounding the number 3 in Tchoukball. You're not allowed to shoot 3 times at the same frame as well. 23 has been neutralized by the FP of Chinese Taipei. Chinese Taipei taking advantage of switching their plays and using all 4 attackers in each corner to score past the defense of Singapore. There's currently a 5-point gap between the two teams and 10 minutes left the last period. Chinese Taipei that time unable to contain number 23's ball. Good defense by number 9 of Singapore, crossing the ball over to the other side. Number 23 once again firing up and scoring past Chinese Taipei's defense. Number 1 from Chinese Taipei tried a side shot. However, Singapore's right wing able to adapt and catch the shot. That line fought by number 23 of Singapore. Chinese Taipei trying to do a 0-step attack. However, high-risk attack comes with mistakes such as frame shots. Number 4 of Chinese Taipei catching the ball with ease, however making a mistake. Singapore as well making a passing mistake amongst themselves. Another great defense by the number 9 of Singapore. As you can see, players from both teams are getting a little bit tired, making more mistakes, as we've seen as Chinese Taipei drops the ball. Both teams have to stay composed and play their best. Frame shot by number 13. As you can see, more and more mistakes are appearing from both teams as we go down to the last period and the last few minutes. The battle of endurance and focus amongst the players. Every mistake is demoralizing and detrimental as the scores are close. The shots of number 23 has been neutralized. However, Chinese Taipei have been making many mistakes after their defense and unable to convert the points. Number 4 once again catching the shot of number 23. Chinese Taipei looking to counter. Great defense by the Singaporean 91. Chinese Taipei equal to Singapore. Shifting the play to the other side. Good coverage by the Singaporean players to cover for the mistakes of each other. The rally is going on. A point has yet to be scored for the past minute as the rallies are getting longer and longer. Number 23 managed to score again. You can see that she is getting tired, putting her hands on her knees. And Chinese Taipei as well are trying their best to catch their shots. Good coverage by number 18 and number 9 of Singapore. Number 4 this time equal to the Singapore left wing. Both teams are neck and neck. The rallies between the teams are getting longer and longer. Great defense once again by Singaporean number 9, able to neutralize the right wing shot of Chinese Taipei. Both teams are getting very tired. Finally, the point is scored by number 13 of Chinese Taipei. The score is currently 37-30. Singapore leading 7 points. Singapore tried to do a sneak attack. Number 1 strikes. However, the right wing equal to the shot. This time, however, the Taiwanese players are able to capitalize. There's currently a 6-point difference between the teams. However, the clock is running and there is only 3 minutes left. Chinese Taipei using their chemistry and teamwork to move the defense of the Singaporean team around and score through. The Singapore team are trying to run the clock down. Once again, the Chinese Taipei team is able to capitalize and score past the Singapore team. The scores are 37-33, Singapore leading by 4 points. A landing is called on Singaporean jersey number 1. An obstruction by the Singaporean players, as Tchoukball is a non-contact sport and you cannot block the passage of the opposite team. Number 1 shoots and scores. Point score by number 22. Both teams are getting very tired, as you can see. Many of them are gasping for air and trying their best to stay in tip-top form. Great defense by the Singapore team, once again to cover. Another point scored by the number 23 of Singapore. She's using every ounce of her strength to stay in the game and shoot her best shots. Number 7 of Chinese Taipei using her speed to her advantage. With only 1 minute left on the clock, it might be a little bit difficult for the Chinese Taipei players to catch up. Great coverage by the number 4 of Chinese Taipei, looking to attack. However, number 18 catches the ball and switches the play. Ball dropped by the Singaporean players as they're getting very tired. Great catch by number 23 of Singapore. 20 seconds left on the clock. The Singapore supporters are waiting for the time to run down and for celebrations to begin. Five seconds. The game has ended. Singapore wins with a score of 39-52. Singapore has dethroned Chinese Taipei, taking first place in this year's Asia Pacific Tchoukball Championship. Next up will be the Singaporean finals. Will be the finals between Singapore and Chinese Taipei for the men's gold medal match.